MIBFA stands for Metal Industries Benefit Funds Administrators, and effectively they administer various pension and provident funds and a sick pay fund on behalf of members who fall within the ambit of the metal industry. In terms of industry-based pension provident funds, I'd put us in the top 3. So effectively, just simplistically speaking, MIBFA collects money which we receive from the firms that pay on behalf of their members. We then invest that money, and at the time that the person comes to claim their money, we put it through the claims processing. MIBFA was established in 1994. MIBFA's board is made up of 50% trade unionists and 50% employers. The kind of business that MIBFA does, as I say, is very much around contribution collection, ensuring that the employers are up to date, paying the claims, etc. So from a printing point of view, like a lot of other companies, I think MIBFA's tried to get away from a sort of paper-based scenario, but I think as most people have realized, that's a lot more difficult than it seems to be. You just got to look at my desk, for example. MIBFA has we have over 300,000 active members, as well as an inactive membership of potentially up to 1 million people. And then MIBFA's staff complement of their own is about 700 people. If I can just talk through the various funds that we administer, we have what we call the Metal Industries Provident Fund, MIBF, that has a membership of around about 280,000 people. We then have what we call the Engineering Industries Pension Fund, which has a membership of just about between 18 and 20,000. And we also have what we call a sick pay fund, which is a fund that members contribute to enhance their kind of leave benefits. And we have a fourth smaller fund, which is our disability fund. And you know, MIBFA is very much in a state of transition, certainly from a IT and from a technical point of view, moving from a sort of mainframe-based admin system, looking at more server-based virtualization, moving to the cloud. Those are initiatives that MIBFA is busy with at the moment. My printing was kind of split into 2 areas. Network printers, which was managed to a large extent. What was definitely unmanaged was my desktop printing. So I must be honest, we had a feeling we wanted to get away from desktop printing. We wanted to force our users to go to the network printers. But Ayoh helped convince me that you're losing a lot of productivity, obviously, when the person's leaving their workstation and going to the network printer. And certainly in terms of my call center, etc., it's important to me that the person stays at their workstation. So Ayoh came to me with a proposal about taking over the management of my desktop printing, and that was immediately attractive to me, simply because I had so many different models over the years. I was buying so many different types of cartridges, and we weren't really getting the value. I mean, to be quite honest, I had a situation where I was purchasing cartridges for printers that were end of life, and we sort of weren't using anymore, and I was building up this massive stock of unused cartridges and things. I mentioned the fact that we've got 700 different staff members working for a complete variety of different types of departments. I think we've got a presence with our HP printers in all of those different departments. And well, we haven't been running it that long, but I'd like to say so far so good. I mean, it's a big bang approach. In fact, we had quite a few discussions around that. My board and my CEO were actually wanting us to do it in a phase type of approach, but Michael actually presented me with a business case as to why it would be better for us to do it in a big bang approach. And effectively they offered me a cost for the well, a price, I should say, for the older printers. And as I say, we did the sums and it made sense, and we went with the big bang. The ones that were excluded from the project were the printers that I had bought in the last year. My CEO drew the line at replacing those very new ones. But as time goes by, as those reach their kind of end of life, we will obviously replace them. And at this point, that's my plan, is to have the entire fleet managed. One of the big benefits, I think, is having a single model, and having a one throat to choke, for want of a better word. If things go wrong, I don't have to go running around after various different suppliers and providers. I've had a very positive response. As far as we're concerned, it's a very good product, and it's a very good service. It's a good product backed by good and proactive service. And I think the other thing that the users have appreciated right now is in terms of ordering new toner and cartridges and things like that. And it's obviously that was actually one of the biggest motivating factors in terms of us taking this proposal, was because of the amount of money we would be saving just in terms of cartridges. I think a lot of desktop printers out there today, if you go to your Dion Wired or wherever you go buy a printer from, with a cartridge is almost the same cost as the print. MIBFA's monthly consumable spend of about 47k was reduced by 8% using the Ayoh solution. And taking into account the reduction of wasted consumable products, that figure equates to 684k of a saving over a 36-month contract period. Yes, definitely, I'd make the point that a lot of the old printers that we replaced were printer only, whereas now we've obviously gone to multifunction. So a lot of users that didn't have scanning and copying potential have now got that. Removing the burden of MIBFA IT, I think that's quite a big one, because the on-site IT staff used to be responsible for not fixing the machines, I wouldn't say that, but certainly doing quite a bit of troubleshooting before, logging calls, etc., with HP, etc. Being able to do that now with a single model makes it a lot easier. Talking of future plans, as I say, I think more of a drive to bring desktop printers back into the environment rather than the old-fashioned thinking of getting rid of them. And also, in terms of mobility, using things like your phones, your iPads, etc., using finding printing solutions for people on the move. One thing we haven't really explored a lot yet is obviously all of our desktop printers are linked to a PC, etc., but we want in the longer term to look at being able to print maybe from mobile devices. To be honest, if I go back 4 or 5 years when people started talking about paperless things, we kind of thought we'd be there by now, but I think very few people are able to achieve that.